Jamaican Diaspora live online here on Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And the numbers to call if you wish to participate at any point, the numbers to call 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. Our social media links on Facebook, it's the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online. On Facebook, the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online. The Jamaican Diaspora Live Online on Facebook. On Instagram, it's Jamaican Diaspora. Diaspora is spelled Diaspora. 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 On Instagram, as we said, it's Jamaican Diaspora. And for those still familiarizing themselves with that word diaspora, Diaspora, that's what the dispersion, that's how the dispersion of the Jewish people beyond Israel was characterized initially. That's how the word came about, in reference to the dispersion. We could perhaps also use a word you might be familiar with, the spreading, or the movement of people originally from, well, essentially moving them beyond Israel, the dispersion of the Jewish people beyond Israel. That's the original meaning of diaspora. However, well, here's a little more. The main diaspora began in the 8th to 6th centuries BC, before Christ. And even before the sack of Jerusalem in AD 70, the number of Jewish people dispersed by the diaspora was greater than that living in Israel, which is the same thing we say these days about Jamaica. The number of people dispersed by the diaspora, that number is greater than those living here in Jamaica. So thereafter, Jewish people were dispersed even more widely throughout the Roman world and beyond. So that's the idea of the diaspora. And today, it just simply means people. The word diaspora, Diaspora, simply means people who have spread or been dispersed from their homeland. So, for example, the Ukrainian diaspora flocked back to Kiev. That's an example of using the term. All right, let's get on with it. And so now is a good time for us to do a quick review of today's news as published by the Gleaner, which, like Power 106 FM, is a part of the RGR Gleaner Communications Group. Front page of today's Gleaner: what's left of what appears to have been or was a taxi. The remnants of what was a taxi. And the information below the picture is that emergency by at the scene of a deadly accident. Remember, we don't use that word anymore. It's not an accident, it's a crash or a collision. Ask the people at the United Nations who have come to that conclusion and have said that you refer to these incidents on the roads as crashes and collisions. Anyway, what is written here is that uh, emergency responders and passers-by at the scene of a deadly two-vehicle accident along the Melrose Hill bypass in Manchester yesterday morning, Friday morning. At least 3 people reportedly succumbed from injuries sustained in the crash, while several people have been admitted to hospital. According to eyewitnesses, the taxi was traveling along the roadway when the van reportedly broke the one way and collided with a car. The accident resulted in gridlock along the busy roadway. When will it cease? When will this stop? When will we mature as responsible road users, as opposed to behaving not just like hooligans, but behaving, was it Stevie Wonder in that song? Playing with bombs like kids play with toys. So playing with cars, playing with what some people refer to as missiles, because the way in which some motorists operate these vehicles, you would think they are indeed weapons of mass destruction. Well, you could very well say they are weapons of destruction here in Jamaica, as we've been destroying ourselves in our failure to maturely operate, maturely and ultimately responsibly operate a motor vehicle. Government seeks release of 34 Jamaicans caught fishing offshore Colombia. Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith is warning Jamaicans who engage in commercial fishing outside of Jamaica's maritime borders to desist from the illegal practice, as it could land them in trouble with the law in another jurisdiction. It's bad enough when you run afoul of the law in your home country. It's even worse when you run afoul of the law in a foreign country. The warning comes as the government is working to repatriate 34 Jamaicans from San Andres, Colombia, after they were reportedly caught fishing illegally in Colombian waters and are now seeking assistance to return home. Well, we trust that that matter will be resolved favorably, one way or another, or better yet, we hope it will be resolved justly. Double glory, parents over the moon as twins attain first class honor degrees at UWI. Well, congratulations to the twins. Shuala, well, these fancy names, Shuala, Shuala. Shuala Richards and her twin sister, Anna Kay Richards. They are pictured on the front page, and let's take the break and come back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
15 minutes past 6 o'clock in the morning here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means it is 11:15 a.m. in London, England.
Both Sides of a Story. The Cattle Breeders Society of Jamaica, in association with their partners and stakeholders, present the Minard Livestock Show and Beef Festival, Thursday, November 10 at Minard Estate, Brownstown, St. Anne. Both Sides of a Story with Dervan Malcolm will be there from 2 to 5 p.m. to provide live coverage of the featured events. This broadcast is brought to you by Minard Livestock, Agro Investment Corporation, Nutrimix, the College of Agriculture, Science and Education, CASE, and the National Irrigation Commission. That's a live broadcast of Both Sides of the Story, live from the Minard Livestock Show and Beef Minard Estate, Brownstown, St. Anne, right here.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on the Jamaican Diaspora live online on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and we're going through the pages of, leafing through the pages of today's Gleaner, and it is a picture of family at the bottom of the front page. As we mentioned, the twins graduating from UWI. Anna Kay Richards and her sister Shuala Richards posing with their parents and their grandmother. Isn't this wonderful? Their parents. Not very often we get to see both mother and father with the children at the same time. But we're seeing Father Denworth. Don't know if it's the short sound or the long sound in terms of, it might be Daneworth, or maybe they just say Denworth, but it looks like Daneworth. Daneworth Richards, their father. Their mother is Dion, Deonne, Dion Richards. And their grandmother is Emmeline Richards. And you should see the look on Emmeline Richards' face, teeming with pride. Well done, twins. Well done to your parents. And of course, we're not leaving out your grandmother. Man suing hospital state for bad injection. A bartender who is claiming that he suffered permanent injuries after a health practitioner at St. Joseph's Hospital in St. Andrew wrongly injected a nerve in his buttocks, is suing the government and the health facility for negligence and breach of statutory duty. The claimant is 50-year-old Garfield Morris. Heart stood on shoulders of Norman Manley, says, well, that's a quote attributed to Prime Minister Holness. And what's the occasion here now? All right. Well, it's a story about Heart NSTA and where it's coming from, where the organization is coming from. Canada rolls out billion-dollar gender equality initiatives in Jamaica. And there's a picture of the Canadian High Commissioner, Emina Tudakovic, Tudakovic, Tudakovic. And also in the picture is Gender Minister Olivia Grange. At the bottom of that page, Cornwall College's class of 85 donates $2 million in scholarships. Well done as usual, Cornwall College, which has my all-time favorite motto, learn or leave. The motto of Cornwall College, learn or leave. Pretty straightforward, isn't it? Sadly, charred remains removed from burnt home in Norwood, St. James. Man held in suspected phone stealing ring to seek bail. Government warns illegal gun holders to take up amnesty. Columbia University and Michael partner in diploma to aid disabled groups. Kimani Mali charged in Florida for driving on suspended license. The Good Heart section of the Gleaner, Edufocal to renovate Joyce Robinson Hall at Tom Redcombe Library. That's a good thing. And 7-year-old Lauren Jones walks for breast cancer fundraiser. St. Thomas Organic Farmers tackle food insecurity, climate change through EU project. Embassy hosts Jamaica Fest. This was in Washington, D.C., and you should see the colorful Jamaicans having a whale of a time. And look at the founder and president of the Institute of Caribbean Studies, Dr. Claire Nelson. Haven't seen Dr. Nelson in a while. Indian Heritage PM is still not a step forward for equality. And that's a column written by Montel Gordon. And Pika's technology focus to enhance customer service. Another of the stories on what I'd like to call the diaspora page. That page in the Saturday Gleaner, which is usually replete with stories from the diaspora. The letter of the day, Health Minister's response is baffling. Need better particulars about the dead babies is another of the letters to the editor. The role of members of parliament is the subject of today's editorial. How green are green fuels? That's a question of another letter to the editor. There is no post or role of Deputy Governor General. That's the headline of the other letter to the editor. Peter the Great and Good is the subject of Tony Dale's column. Ronald Sanders writes, U.S. midterm elections, a defining moment for the world. Let's see how that unfolds. Pope slams childlike whims of powerful who start wars. Government backtracks on decision to rename Independence Day. This is coming out of Barbados. Lula's team meets Bolsonaro as transition kicks off. Police try to break blockade of crucial fuel terminal. That's in Haiti. Check to receive weekly reports from subcontractors. Is this St. Thomas? Having to do with the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project. China Harbor Engineering, who have implemented a system to receive strict milestone-based reports from the subcontractors on the project. Frustrated residents eager to benefit from new water supply in Nain, St. Elizabeth, and there's a picture of a fire hydrant gushing water. And from student athlete to orthopedic surgeon is another story in today's Gleaner. The Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, JCDC, has advertised the position of Executive Director, in brackets, Level 8. Chapelton Community Hospital to reopen. Work to start on Landui Bridge in Yalas. Lots of classified advertisements in today's Gleaner, plus death announcements, a couple of them. The sports section of the Gleaner, payback time. Jamaican duo look to reward club's faith with MLS Cup win. Haile Selassie, have no fear, Manning Cup quarterfinals at 2 venues today. GC Foster legacy and local track and field history celebrated in print. and film. Powell stars as Scorpion's Sting Pride. Lamont I's top job at JTTA. Kasafa leaning towards Tier 2 participation. Outgoing Cannock president anticipates keen, fair elections. Cannock is the Caribbean Association of National Olympic Committees. Dinthill shock William Knibb 3-0 is another sports story. The usual cartoons and crosswords or crossword puzzles and other such games are in their usual places. The entertainment section of the Gleaner features Catcore paying tribute to the great Leonie Forbes with patriotic Jamaican song. And lots of pictures of people in downtown Kingston, pictures standing before these very colorful murals, which have made a difference in this country. We need to just continue, we need to spread it right across the country. Well done to those who have been working along those lines. Let's greet some of the other listeners who have since joined us or joined us since last time we checked. Dr. Rosemary Adamson Lewis says, "Good morning, Sir D. It's a beautiful morning. So let us give thanks. Thank you so much for all that you do in and for the diaspora. Blessings." Thank you very much, Dr. Rose. We reciprocate wholeheartedly because you continue to play your part as well. Sylvia Myers says, "Good morning, Dervan. Happy Sabbath to you. Have a good day. Happy Sabbath to you too, Sylvia Myers. And may you also have a good day." Debisha Dwyer, it's been a while. Welcome. Good morning, y'all, she says, from New Jersey, I believe. Rudy Page is joining us from what he describes as sunny London. We're never sure how to receive that declaration by Rudy Page. But thank you very much, Rudy Page. Speaking of Page, well, the procurement pages are plenty in today's Gleaner as well. And that's as much as we can share at this time in terms of what's in the Gleaner. Let's take a break now and come back with more on the Jamaican Diaspora live online. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. And hello to Sean Chambers. He says, "Good morning, Uncle Dervan Malcolm, to you and your listeners all over the world, and take care." Same to you, Sean Chambers. Asha Ash says, "Good morning to you, Mr. Dervan, from London, UK. Hope all is well." Good morning to you too, Asha Ash in London, UK. All is indeed well. Thank you very much. And let's say hello as well to Elaine Barker. Ms. Barker, good morning to you. Thank you for tuning in as well, and all the very best to you. And here's a gentleman who is fast becoming a staple, no pun intended, a staple on the airwaves as far as healthy living and healthy lifestyles are concerned, in particular with reference to diabetes. We're talking about Mr. Tony Kelly, diabetes ambassador, among other things. And you know what his CV is like for those who have heard us introducing him. He's very, he's a very illustrious campaigner for good health. Tony Kelly, morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Dervan. That's at 6 in the morning here in sunny Jamaica. The sun's already out.
Indeed, it is.
I'm fine, Dervan. Nice to be on your show.
It's a pleasure always to have you on, and we thought we'd uh, give our listeners yet another opportunity as you look to wrap your tour here in Jamaica and head on to Barbados before going back to the UK. What are your impressions of how your presentations, your various presentations, interactions, and engagements here in Jamaica? What are your impressions of how how all of this has been received and is being received?
It's being received very well, Dervan. Very, very well. Diabetes Awareness Month is the entire month of November, and I started the tour on the 1st of November, and today is Saturday the 5th. And all the events I've done so far have been well supported. Lots of questions being asked at the end. Of course, I start with my health disclaimer every time by saying that I'm not a healthcare professional, but I'm a patient expert, lived experience, lived reality with this medical condition, diabetes, for 19 years this December, live in Birmingham, England, as you rightly pointed out. And Jamaicans are coming out in their droves on every aspect of the tour I've been to. It's 7 parishes I'm doing in total. Sometime throughout here now, I'll give the listeners and viewers a rundown of where else I will be up until the 12th of November before heading to Barbados to do likewise, as you rightly pointed out, from the 13th of November through to the 3rd of December. So I'll give you that whenever you want me to.
Sure. In fact, yeah, absolutely. We're happy to hear that. Now then, for the benefit of those who perhaps they have heard of your tour and want to get information from you at one of the many sessions that you've been hosting. Let's talk about today's big session, which is scheduled for the Church of God of Prophecy?
Church of God of Prophecy, 41 Old Harbor Road, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Um, Starting at 9, finishing at about 4. But the beauty about this one, it's a health fair. I know people here in Jamaica, if they have to go to the doctors, they have to pay. This one, they can get free health checks in terms of their cholesterol, in terms of diabetes, whether they're pre-diabetes, in terms of high blood pressure, which we know a lot of us as black people tend to have as an issue. But there are going to be a lot of healthcare practitioners and professionals there to do the various health checks, because I take the view, Dervan, that some of us drive a motor vehicle and we go and get it tested out for the gear and the wheel tires and so on. I am saying loud and clear, your body given to you by Jah, Jehovah, Allah, whoever you worship, is a far more important tool than that piece of junk. I'm not saying the car is a piece of junk, but that piece of junk or metal that we drive. So I'm into healthcare. Go and get your checks done. Because if you do, you might find out from the blood you've given or whatever that you have an underlying health condition and so on. And COVID-19 has proved that beyond any reasonable doubt. The coronavirus and so on. We as black people, we are more prone to diabetes, to high blood pressure, stroke, hypertension, high cholesterol as well. We need to have our health checks done. And even if you're 13, 14, 15, don't walk around as if, oh, you're invincible, you're immortal, nothing's going to happen to you. And that's why it's not just me giving my talk starting at 11 for an hour and a half with Q&A, question and answers, but all of these health experts have been gathered for Sister Bloss's event, she and her committee. People need to come and get it done. Please, it's free, nothing at all, and there's sort of things to do with diet and so on, and foods, fresh fruits and vegetables and foods that we should be eating more of. So I encourage people to come out to the one in 41 Old Harbour Road today. It's a big church here, a Church of God of Prophecy.
Yes, and it's usually in demand for events of this nature as well.
Yes, they have conventions here as well, I hear.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what happens tomorrow, Sunday?
Right. There's no day of rest here. Saturday for some is the Sabbath, the day of rest.
Yes.
And for some it's Sunday. I'm afraid, although I'm a Christian, I will be still on the journey. So on Sunday, I go to the First Church of God, which is 55A High Holborn Street. And that's the corner of East Green Street and High Holborn Street. And that's at 1 o'clock. And they also, I think I'm going to send you, if at all possible, their flyer, because they're doing that on Zoom, so people can go onto a webinar, but I don't have that detail in front of me. It's in my phone. But later on your show, you can tell them how to link up, so those in the other parts of the parish can link up to 1 p.m. First Church of God, 55A High Holborn Street, corner of East Green Street and High Street, and High Holborn Street. You can actually watch that online if they cannot attend. So that's Sunday. Then on Monday, the 7th of November, I'm going 12 noon to St. Martin's Mission. That's an Anglican church in Bull Bay. Apparently, it's very close to the primary school on the border of St. Thomas and St. Andrew. So that's at 12 noon. And then, the same Monday again, 2 birds with 1 stone, I'm doing St. Boniface Church, right out at Harborview, next to Donald Quarry School, at that important landmark. I'm doing one day on Monday the 7th at 5 p.m. So people, if they live in the Harborview area, Port Royal or East Kingston, can come there and see me. That is not being webinared or Zoomed or what have you. They have to actually attend. Then on Tuesday the 8th of November, I'm going to Runaway Bay, St. Anne, to the United Church Hall in Runaway Bay. And I'm doing it there twice. 10:30, for those who can't, the 10:30, they can then decide to come for 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So twice in one day, they're getting the same thing done. I do this in England. I've done this in Britain for the last 10 and a half years. And of course, I've been to Dominica, I've been to Canada, other places to enlighten and make people aware. I don't call it education, because education sort of conjures up image you're wanting the person to go back into the classrooms, to school. It's just making people aware of what is healthy food, what should they be eating more of, what physical activities should they be doing. I don't use the word exercise as well, Dervan, because exercise conjures up images. You want the person to go to the gym. I'm not into that. I'm into physical activity which can be done right in your home or your yard. We're keeping it simple, your yard. Okay? Right. So that's
afternoon. I have my designated chauffeur who is taking all of these places over these places. Then on Thursday, the 10th of November, there's another all-day health fair, and this is at Emmanuel United Church, Tower Isle, St. Mary, and that's from 11 o'clock onwards at Tower Isle, where they're going to be doing all the health checks again, etc. And I can't remember what time I'm on, but I'm doing an event there during that time, during the day. And then on Friday the 11th, I am going to Manchester, to Cobbler New Testament Church, and I'm doing one there. I think, if my memory serves me right, I think it might be 4 o'clock, if my memory serves me right. I don't seem to have it in the schedule here. But Cobbler United...
Is that Friday? Are you referencing Friday the 11th?
Friday the 11th.
Because I'm seeing 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Cobbler. But I don't know what time
You'll be... Okay, understood.
Yes. And then I end up, my last event here in Jamaica is Saturday the 12th of November, back in Kingston at the Church of the Ascension. It's an Anglican church in Mona, not far from the University of the West Indies, I'm told. I'm doing one there at 4 o'clock. I was conscious, Dervan, I didn't want to make this just a Kingston thing. Mm-hmm. Kingston is not the center of the universe, just like how London is not the center of the universe. So I've made sure to incorporate in the schedule not St. Thomas, I should say, St. Mary, St. Anne, Clarendon, St. Catherine. Sadly can't do the western end of the island, but as the saying goes, to be continued. TBC, that might happen when I come, when next I come.
Well, we want to, yes.
Good old Jamaica. Yes. I'm British born, but grew up in Jamaica, grew up in St. Thomas, went to Michael Teachers College, and taught in the high schools in Kingston. So Jamaican lingo and language, when I was the ones I've done so far, people come up to me and say, "But you're born in London. You don't sound like a Londoner." There's no Cockney accent here. I said, I'm amongst my people. I just speak the language of the people. Yes. And the people are saying, "Tony, we get it. And I really hope they take on board the message, the health message I'm trying to give out there, for them to change their lifestyle, because diabetes is rampant in Jamaica. Just like in Barbados, where I'm going, and Dominica, where I went 4 years ago, diabetes is rampant here and must be taken seriously.
Well, we hope they get it at some point. Hopefully sooner than later. Thank you so much, as usual, for being available to us, Tony Kelly, and sharing with us.
You're welcome.
Take care. Bye-bye. You too. Bye-bye.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
15 minutes to 7 o'clock in the morning here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means it's 4:45 a.m. in Los Angeles, California.
Tune in to Farm Talk every second and third Tuesday of each month at 6:18 a.m. for the feature Hypro Food Independence. Hypro Food Independence will focus on solutions for farmers, such as land, animal husbandry, agronomy, and more. That's Hypro Food Independence, every second and third Tuesday from 6:18 to 6:30 a.m. during Farm Talk, only on Power 106 FM. Hypro Food Independence is sponsored by Hypro. And effective immediately, children 12 years and younger can access free medical care at the University Hospital of the West Indies, UHWI.
Hello?
This arrangement is in response to the increasing viral illnesses and resulting overcrowding at the Bustamante Hospital for Children, which is usually seen at this time of year. Children and the elderly are among the most vulnerable groups, especially at this time, as the flu and gastroenteritis season intensifies. Jamaicans are reminded to only take paracetamol and to visit the nearest health center if symptoms do not improve. In tribute to Jamaicans in the diaspora, wherever you go, you shine. You make us proud. Despite our challenges,
That's what I'm getting to.
you never give up on us. Our sincere thanks. You need to know anything you want to be.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, having a difficulty connecting with our next guest. So we're going to move on in the meantime. Let's greet Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida. What is he saying now? Hold on, let's go up the page. Let's go to Diana McIntyre Pike first. She says, "Good morning, Sir Dervan. I'm recommending that the diaspora organizes an NGO conference, which can also be as virtual, as we have many NGOs in Jamaica which have exciting and worthwhile community projects which could be included in a project database and give support for business plans if required, which would lead to a business approach to Jamaica's development and should include infrastructure needs, etc. Anyone interested in participating with this, please contact me," says Diana McIntyre Pike. Country Style Tourism, let's give you that email address. It's countrystyletourism@yahoo.com. That's countrystyletourism@yahoo.com, or villagesasbusinesses@yahoo.com. Villagesasbusinesses@yahoo.com. And the number to call is 876-507-6326. That's 876-507-6326. And that's for those who have an interest in an NGO conference, as in non-government organization conference. You can call that number or connect via email to those addresses we shared with you: countrystyletourism@yahoo.com or villagesasbusinesses@yahoo.com. The number to call is 876-507-6386. That's 876-507-6326. 876-507-6326. Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida says, Mr. Malcolm and all your diligent followers, a good Saturday morning to you all. To you too, Mas Albert. Sheila Clark Wallace says, "Good morning, Sir Dervan. Greetings to you and the listening audience. Have a wonderful day." And the same to you. And Albert says, "Good morning, Diana," as in Diana McIntyre Pike. "Connect with Rosemary Adamson Lewis," says Albert Lewis. Inez Ayona Campbell says, "Good morning, Mr. Dervan and viewers." Good morning to you, Inez Ayona Campbell. The organization known as Jamaica International Independence Foreign Song Competition is also on board with us. That's Gary G. Good morning to you. Thank you for tuning in. He says, "Rise and shine with the Dervan Malcolm Show. Blessed Saturday to all." Thank you for tuning in. Paul in Philadelphia, it's good to have you on board as well. Paul Miles of the eponymous Paul Miles Foundation. Welcome and thank you very much for joining us on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online here on Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. And who we've been trying to connect with, she's so busy. Hi, Angel. Morning. How are you? Don't listen.
Morning. I just landed. I've played through already, so you can talk to me. I'm waiting on my driver. I just landed. So I've played through and everything. I'm waiting on my driver, so you can talk to me.
You're back in the UK?
I called you yesterday when I was in the club lounge in Norman at the airport. I landed in the UK 10:45.
Look at that. Well, we're happy to connect with you upon landing in
I can speak.
yes.
I can speak. Yeah.
Well, that's the opportunity we wanted to give you because we knew you were at the end of your time here in Jamaica, and so we wanted you to give us a roundup of the activities that you engaged in while in Jamaica, and for you to share with us the next project or projects or initiatives that you are looking to pursue. So go ahead and give us the roundup first of all, please.
I had the handing over ceremony at the Mount Pleasant Primary School on the 21st. No. I visited Leety Primary School on the 17th of October, where I was awarded for chipping down 130 chairs and 120 primary desk chairs. You know that happened late 2019 when Jamaica Foundation, Dr. Dixon joining and supporting with 60 decks and 60 chairs. I went visited the Leety Primary School during the National Eras Week. I was awarded, and then I was given take down the rafting, for saline. We call it white stone bath and scrub, and in the Greater River. And then after that, I had the handing over ceremony for Mount Pleasant Primary School on the 21st of October. It was a celebration. VM Group Foundation, Sophie Lewis, they were all there. MPs, councillors. And then on the 26th of October, I had the handing over ceremony at Bensington Primary School. That's going through Claremont and going round and round and back a bush till you reach Bensington District. And then I was quite surprised that the Bensington Primary School, they gave a Thanksgiving. It was in the church. They have a church on the hill next to the school.
Yeah.
They had a Thanksgiving service, and then after a banqueting, sitting down and eating was fantastic. And then the Free Hill Primary School was Step Up the Ladder on the 27th of October. We had the mayor of St. Anne, we had the MP, Crystal Lee, we had councillors, public relations, we had a principal from Casa High School. He's very famous with his work in St. Anne's. We had a few head bishops and pastors. And as I said, I did not know that all these three schools was on top of the hill. I didn't know I had to be traveling through mountains. The Mount Pleasant Primary School, the principal, Mrs. Danovic, she had also booked a hotel for us because we had to go overnight because it's like you're going past Montego Bay. So we had stayed in the Tim Bamboo hotel in Prospect. That was really nice. The breakfast was good. Going out in the morning and meeting the locals, I realized that where the Tim Bamboo hotel is, Prospect, you got a craft market there. So I understand a lot of Germans and Americans who like the naturality. They want to see the real district and enjoy the real culture of Jamaica. They attend that area quite often. They have groups there. And I have been on eras. I was with my team, Livingston Gilchrist. I was with Martin Day. He just left the airport. And it was fantastic. And then after everything, I spent a week in the Club Cameron in the Arlington. What I must say about the Club Cameron, I couldn't get a hotel. And or something, and I say to my driver, let's go to the Club Cameron. When I give my name at the gate, the guy came and said, oh, miss, they know you. And they let me in. And it was such a wonderful welcome from the manager who remembered me, Judith Wall. She said, welcome, Angelia Christian. It's only last week we were talking about you that your two daughters was near drowning 10 years ago, 11 years ago, and you have come back and you have donated 2 ambulances and so much thing you have done since the 11 years we have been following you. And they gave me one of the best sweets. And it had kiwi group there. It was factor, but for some reason they gave me a sweet. So I end up saying everything is just being fantastic. I was just sad about the tragic accidents that is happening on the road. And I said, when I come home, I want to do a thing with you. I mean, I have seen on the television where they campaign. What can you do? I've seen it on the television where they campaign. I've seen it on the television where they campaign for people to drive safely. I've seen where they also campaign about child abuse. I've seen where the government have built over 5,000 houses. So there's a lot of things that's happening in Jamaica. But it's just like Dervan, the people are paying attention to it. I mean, such tragic deaths. Up to, I think, yesterday, a few people lost their life again in Manchester. So something, I don't know, something really, really needs to be done about these drivers. And it's the taxi drivers who are driving with all these passengers in the car. I noticed one taxi driver, he had 3 lines. So you had 3 and he had 9 people. And in the front, another 12 people. So the government really needs to do something about it. And the people also too, why are they taking this taxi? I've been on the Knutsford Express, and I can tell you if anybody listening, it's better you just pay your money and take the Knutsford Express and go where you're going. You know what I mean? It's really terrible with a tragic accident. And then I learn again, it's over 875 young children who is committing murder in Jamaica. So I've seen where the government is trying. I've seen on the television where different groups, like even you, Power 106, radio station, CVM, I'm seeing where everybody's trying, to send the message out to Jamaica. So it's not like everybody's turning a blind eye. I've sit and watch the television, especially the sunrise news. So
All right.
I love Jamaica. A beautiful time. And the Minister of Education took me down to Trenchtown Primary School. I've seen the room. I took pictures of it. And then my next school is also with the Trenchtown Primary School, is the Greater Portmore High School. I've also been at the Greater Portmore High School. This room is going to be transferred like the new Sonia Technical High School. It's going to be transferred completely. So they have both school have to build the desk and everything. The Trenchtown Primary School, it's a container.
One moment, Angel. Let's take this commercial break and then we come back and wrap.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
7 o'clock in the morning here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means it is midday in Tottenham, UK.
Hello? Yeah, man, I know. Yeah, hold on. No, for the longest running religious calling program on Jamaican radio, The Prayer Line. Join Pastor Errol Hay and his team as they offer spiritual guidance and intercession grounded in biblical doctrine. Hear powerful testimonies from Jamaica and around the world. The Prayer Line, a source of support and inspiration in these trying times. That's The Prayer Line on Power 106 FM, Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Join us. Amen. You shall be living testimony. You're on the love side. In tribute to Jamaicans in the diaspora, wherever you go, you shine. You make us proud, despite our challenges at home.
How many days you spent in Jamaica,
Our
Angel?
sincere thanks.
In Jamaica recently. as far as education is concerned and the welfare of our children. She's Angelia Christian, the founder of the Angel Foundation, and having spent a month in Jamaica, she is back. We timed her perfectly. She just landed at Gatwick Airport in the United Kingdom, and she's just been giving us sort of putting a wrap on her sojourn here in Jamaica. So you are going on to talk about the work to come in terms of Trenchtown, the Trenchtown Primary School.
I've been the Minister of Education had got some escort to bring me down Trenchtown. So I've been to the Trenchtown Primary School. I've met the principal, and I've also shown it's a container. A past student who is a builder donated a container, a 40-feet container to them, where she has done the flooring. She has done, like carpentry work on the walls. So in there, we're going to be doing the high tea suite. And then I also visited the Greater Portmore High School, met Principal Ross, and there's a room that's going to be created. So half of it is going to be a 3-computer room, and then the other half is going to be the mechanical. So they're going to creating a mechanical engineering side, and the next side will be the computer IT room. So yes, so that's my next project. I mean, I must say I've got the computers then for Trenchtown Primary School. I even got the chairs. So now I'm going to campaign now because they want 20 computers. So I've made my contacts when I was up there in Jamaica. So hopefully I can ship both schools together, which is what I want to do. So yes, and thank you, Dervan, for escorting me up to the Oberlin High School where I present a tablet to Chantal Matak, very young lady. We have been following from our primary school with a sponsor Child Education Direct, supported by the VM Group Foundation and the Grace Kennedy Foundation, Grace Foods UK, VM Group, and also Transpac Shipping. During the lockdown, has also ship the computers for the Free Hill Primary School and the Besançon Primary School. So I want to thank them very much because during the lockdown, I was not able to fundraise or do anything. And with the support from VM Group and Grace Foods UK and Transfer Ship, they still finance me. So this is why I was able to go home to Jamaica and build the IT suite. So thank you to and thank you, Dervan, and thank you to all my donors who's listening. And I think I'm going to be needing a beauty suite, but I did have a fantastic time in Jamaica, and I'm looking forward to come home for the Trenchtown Primary School and the Greater Portmore Primary School. And all the students, if you're listening to me this morning on Power 106, please take care and stop the violence. I was actually recently visiting the Oberlin High School with Mr. Dervan Malcolm, a journalist standing there, hearing a young student talking about stabbing the next person. And I had to pull her up. I said, lady, if you was in the UK, you would be going home and having counseling with your parents and everybody. So students, if you're listening in Jamaica on the radio, please stop the violence. Don't carry knives to school. School is to learn, to go further in life. You don't want to end up in prison. Please, I've witnessed everything. And I must say, I was safe. No one attacked me. I was not troubled. Apart from, if I visit certain places and I wear my captain hat, you have to mend them. But it's out of desperation. But yeah, I had a fantastic time in Jamaica. It was beautiful, and I'm looking forward to come back for the Trenchtown Primary School and the Greater Portmore High School. And
Wonderful.
Dervan, yes. Thank you also for escorting me down to the Maxwell Park Children's Home, where I donated 500 pieces of infant clothes. So thank you for escorting me, Dervan. I also went up to the New Stony Hill Technical High School and present a tablet also to one of the twins. The twin sister, one of them drowned, and a cousin on the 25th of August. So I also went up to the New Stony Hill Technical High School and presented a tablet to the next sister that's still alive, and witnessed her twin sister and her cousin washed away in the river. So yeah, I did really do a lot, and I really did enjoy it. I was sitting in the club lounge in Norman Manley airport, and I said to the lady, and I had a Bob Marley drink. That Bob Marley drink with a bit of Appleton rum in it. It was fantastic. So yeah, I had a great time.
Wonderful.
In the lawn, reflected in the club lounge in the Norman Manley Airport. So yes, and thank you, Dervan, and God bless you.
It's been a pleasure.
Or you will see me soon. Thank
Take
you.
care, Angelia Christian, the founder of the Angel Foundation, giving us a roundup of her recent well, almost 1 month stay here in Jamaica, continuing the work of the Angel Foundation. And she's getting some kudos here from Dr. Trevor Dixon of Jaja Foundation, Jamaicans Abroad Helping Jamaicans at Home. Dr. Trevor Dixon says, congratulations to Angelia Christian and her team doing great things. We are preparing for our event today. Of course, there's a big event happening today. It's the Black Tie Gala and Awards. They'll be making some presentations as well. Jaja Foundation. So who are in and around New Jersey, elsewhere in the tri-state area, here is your opportunity to contribute to the work of Jaja Foundation. Work being done right here in Jamaica. In fact, they're working on procuring an ambulance and shipping that ambulance to Jamaica. And I believe initially it will be serving Negril and surrounding communities. So that event is on today, the Black Tie Gala, and Dr. Trevor Dixon referencing that. So please donate to Jaja Foundation's ambulance fundraising drive by supporting that annual Black Tie Gala. It starts at 7 o'clock this evening, UK time. It's at 454 Midland Avenue in Garfield, New Jersey, and we wish them a successful event. Dr. Trevor Dixon and his team of volunteers. Royal Manor, 454 Midland Avenue, Garfield, New Jersey, is where the fundraiser will be taking place this evening. Do enjoy. Also taking place this evening, the Jamaica Awareness Association of California, JAAC. They're having their fundraiser in Los Angeles, California as well. Dr. Dixon says, good morning, Dervan. Things are looking great. We're getting good support from the diaspora here in the New York City and tri-state area. Thanking everyone who has offered their support in both cash and kind. Thank you very much. And thanks once again to Angelia Christian of the Angel Work and UKJA, Angel Foundation UKJA, where we have a very patient Rudy Page who has been holding Connections Work Limited. Rudy Page, good. Okay, we're gonna get to him in just a moment. Uh, Dr. Rosemary Adamson Lewis says, congratulations, Angel Foundation. And Dr. Trevor Dixon says, Angela, well, we read that message already. Valerie Rochester, guess what? She's not in Atlanta, Georgia today. Valerie Rochester proudly tells us, good morning to you and your wonderful listeners, all the way from Tulum, Mexico. Welcome, Valerie Rochester. Bienvenida, Valerie Rochester in Tulum, Mexico. Good to have you joining us all the way from Mexico. And Nicola in Central Jamaica, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Good to have you on board as well. And development, and there are many community leaders and young people who have some good ideas but require training support and funding support. So far, we would like to thank some of our leaders in the diaspora for registering our community tourism fund, ComFund, in the USA as an investment fund where the interest will be available for low interest and grant funding for business and community projects. who will be presented to the Comfund Diaspora Board. We will keep you posted further when this is finalized, says Diana McIntyre Pike. Thank you very much. Let's go now to the CEO of Making Connections Work Limited, Rudy Page. Thank you so much for joining us from, according to you, sunny London.
Good morning, Dervan, from sunny London.
Thank you. Welcome.
You never seem to believe me, Dervan.
No, I have to be there. I have to journey all the way to UK to confirm if that is in fact so. So until I do, I'll just take your word for it.
Absolutely. You know, there's that English word, ostensibly.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Well, before you start getting ostentatious, let's just move right along. Well. Homeward bound, passing the baton to Windrush Anchor Festival. Windrush 75 Communities 2023 Education Exchange, Brent, and so on and so forth. Those are some of the captions of the activities that Rudy Page has been involved in, is involved in, and will be involved in. Let's start with what is happening right now as far as the projects, initiatives, program of activities that Making Connections Work is involved with or associated with. Rudy Page, are you there? Oh, there you go. Go ahead, please.
Right. So if we start with the Windrush Anchor Festival activity, this week, well, in fact, 2 days ago, we launched the Windrush 75 Anchor Education Exchange Program. There's a school in Enfield, that's in North London, called Kingfisher Hall. And this program is launched by the mayor of Enfield, Councillor Doris Jaggy. And this school now is linked with Augusttown Primary School. And the theme is building creative connections. So that's the process really, not the theme. The process is about building creative connections. So again, it's up to the young people how they feel they want to best build the connection.
One moment, please. Let's just take a quick break and come back.
Healthy habits start with washing your hands several times per day with soap and water. If soap and water are not available, use Benjamin's hand sanitizer and rubbing alcohol. The time by Benjamin's is
7:15 in the morning here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means it is 3:15 p.m. in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
And effective immediately, children 12 years and younger can access free medical care at the University Hospital of the West Indies, UHWI. This arrangement is in response to the increase in viral illnesses and resulting overcrowding at the Bustamante Hospital for Children, which is usually seen at this time of year. Children and the elderly are most vulnerable groups, especially at this time, as the flu and gastroenteritis season intensifies. Jamaicans are reminded to only take paracetamol and to visit the nearest health center if symptoms do not improve. Tune in every Thursday at 3:30 p.m. for Your Legal Corner with David Walker Huntington. During both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm. 6 FM. It's your source of information regarding U.S. immigration matters, combined with Power 106 FM's pioneer of diaspora broadcasting. Call in with your U.S. immigration or send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598 and get the answers you need for your U.S. immigration questions. That's Your Legal Corner with David Walker Huntington, Thursdays at 3:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm, only on Power 106 FM.
The CEO of Making Connections Work Limited, Rudy Page, has been filling us in on the work which the organization continues to do. Thanks for holding, Rudy Page. You mentioned the twinning of those two schools, Augusttown Primary and Enfield, and
Yeah,
you were
the
go ahead.
the Kingfisher Hall Primary School, Enfield, North London.
Right. So that
Right, so
go ahead.
right, so the overall theme for the students is that is community helpers. So for the last 3 years, in fact, we've had a program called Beacon of Hope, and recently we introduced the community helpers. That's been with Dr. Lola Ramakan. So we've now linked the community helpers to what we talk about achieving inclusive, peaceful, caring neighborhoods and local communities. So as part of the project, then the young people, the students, will be coming up with ideas, and in fact they've already started. There's already some information online. The links will be available next week, where the young people have started to set out what they want to do and how they want to link between each other, which is really important because the Windrush Anchor Festival itself takes place in Jamaica on the 23rd of May at Augusttown Primary School, and it leads right down to African Garden Square. And that's going to be a really important event because it marks the 75th anniversary of the Windrush ship leaving Jamaica for the UK. And the importance of doing it on the 23rd of May, and it was the idea of the principal, Mr. Jelly, to have a project relating to the school itself. So there'll be a focus on beautification, murals, tree planting, gardening, and painting for the actual school itself. Have a band, the scouts, the guides, and the various other groups. And then the procession will move down to African Garden Square, where we then will have a complete community festival of activities, including, local produce from the farmers group and the great singer. In Maitland, Mamadi, as we say, Elder Campbell of the African Garden Development Company, who are the main partners, and the involvement of the local community and the diaspora. So we're utilising the theme, a united family at home and abroad. So we're linking these activities directly with Jamaica's Vision 2030 Jamaica, the National Development Plan. So this festival itself then is a catalyst for a year-long program of activities between the diaspora, UK, US, and Canadian diaspora with Jamaica. And the model that we're developing in Augusttown then can be easily replicated to other communities around Jamaica. And we will have what we call sharing the learning events, where we just have meetings where everybody explains what they're doing and how best they achieve their goals. In other words, overcoming any challenges. Another important element to this, and you just mentioned Jaja Foundation. Look forward to collaborating with Jaja Foundation as part of this, Trevor Dixon. That's really important because health and healthy living and lifestyle is an integral part of the development of communities. I was pleased that Tony Kelly was on earlier on. We worked together a few weeks ago, and he is one of the diabetes and the health of our communities, and what they need to do in very simple language in order to improve their lives. So our overall theme, hope, strength, and belonging.
So repeat that theme, please.
Hope, strength, and belonging. So the Windrush anchor itself is actually at the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea. And Patrick Vernon, he has a project to actually raise the actual anchor itself. It's a big project, it's an international project. And so he's fundraising and working with us, speaking to communities, speaking to schools, speaking to business. We have done now, we've got a cardboard replica of the actual anchor, exact size, and then build this program of activities around the anchor, linking the UK and Jamaica through the diaspora activities, and particularly engaging with the young people. And I must mention Dean Roden, an integral part of this, Dr. Lola Ramakan, Dr. Rupert Francis, Diana McIntyre-Pike. So there's a lot of people who are involved in this. It's quite a big infrastructure that we're now creating. So what we're doing is building the relationships from the neighbourhoods into the local communities.
You're starting at the root.
Trust and cooperation. Yeah, absolutely the roots. We have to do that. We have to invest in the neighbourhoods and the local communities. And we have to involve the young people. And in fact, what I've been saying to colleagues, that we need to put the young people at the forefront and have more young people on our platforms explaining to us that with our support, this is what they've been able to achieve. So, in other words, we're turning the development model on its head now. Because historically, what you always had was adults coming on and saying what they're doing. And what we now need to do, if the adults are on, we should be explaining what the young people are doing with our support. So we're using next year, the 75th anniversary, 2022, to introduce this new model way of working. And so when in the future, when I'm on these platforms, it will be to explain what I am doing and what our colleagues are doing to support the achievement of young people. That's the way that we work. So the Windrush represents that, really.
Yes. And I see Brent is one of those areas that is participating in Windrush 75 activities.
Exactly. So the next Windrush Anchor Festival, so the first one that we held, and we've spoken about it, was in Enfield. That was in August. So the next Anchor Festival is Saturday the 26th of November in Brent, Harlesden Town Centre, which has a long history. For many years, that was the leading area for UK reggae. So all the artists you can think of been around that area in one way or other. So in fact, the hall where it's taking place, the event, is actually now called Windrush Hall.
Oh.
So, and hopefully that area will be known there's Windrush Corner as well, if there's enough community support. So that's going to be, and it'll be live streamed as well. So we realise the importance of live streaming the events as well. So that will be live streamed.
Mm-hmm. Understood. Have you covered all your bases, or is there more?
Yeah, so I've covered all the bases relating to the Windrush anchor. Just to say that there will be a launch in Jamaica in January. So we're just finalising the date. So I'll keep you updated on that. So we'll be launching the whole programme, and we'll be also announcing our partners that we're collaborating with, and Trevor Dixon and Joshua Foundation will be one of those, absolutely. So finally, what I'd like to sort of cover, Dervan, a few days ago we had the Gleaner Honour Awards here in the UK. So I'd just like to run through quickly, just to thank everyone who took part in that. First of all, obviously the RJR Gleaner group itself, in terms of putting the whole award ceremony together. I'd like to, as chairman of the selection committee, like to thank fellow members Dr. Dennis Howard, Ambassador Alun Asamba, and Dorothy Otti, and also the planning committee, Gary Allen, is the chairman, Evan Wilt O'Grady, Alicia Patrickson, Joy Bennett, George Ruddock, Morgan Bingo, and Terry Ann Wilson. And the actual awards really...
Let's talk about the awards briefly as we get ready to wrap the segment. Rudy Page, one moment, please.
Yeah. Okay.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
7:30 in the morning here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means it's 4:30 in the morning in Anchorage, Alaska.
Tune in every Thursday at 3:30 p.m. for Your Legal Corner with Dana Walker Huntington, during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm on Power 106 FM. It's your source of information regarding U.S. immigration matters, combined with Power 106 FM's pioneer of diaspora broadcasting. Call in with your U.S. immigration queries and concerns on 876-9224-11225, or send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598 and get the answers you need for your U.S. immigration questions. That's Your Legal Corner with Dana Walker Huntington, Thursdays at 3:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm, only on Power 106 FM.
Your health is key to your wealth. Suffering from muscle, joint, neck, back, and other pain? The Rehabilitation Institute of the Caribbean, providing medical care for function and performance in association with Winchester MRI, Jamaica's first choice for MR imaging. Immune Active Denk, a combination of key active ingredients designed to boost the body's natural defense. And Almighty Studios, a recording studio where they create worship music to praise, to worship, and to serve, presents Rehabilitation Now, a 30-minute feature on physical medicine and rehabilitation for people overcoming pain or dysfunction from injury or disease that affects muscles, tendons, nerves, and joints. Rehabilitation Now with host Alicia Taylor and rehabilitation physician Dr. Paula Dawson airs every Thursday, 5:30 to 6 p.m. on Power 106. Free your body from aches and pain with Rehabilitation Now.
Whenever you hear reference being made to the Windrush, it's the experience of bringing one of the first large groups of post-war West Indian immigrants to the United Kingdom. It's the name of a ship, HMT Empire Windrush, and that carried more than 1,027 passengers, including many, many, many Jamaicans who and other West Indians who played their part in the development of the United Kingdom after the war. But there was also the Windrush scandal, which was a British political scandal, which began in 2018 concerning people who were wrongly detained, denied legal rights. They were detained and denied legal rights and also threatened with deportation. And in at least 83 cases, wrongly deported. And so, but there's another side to it in terms of how this significant part of our history is being is manifesting on the ground in the communities, not only here in Jamaica but also in the United Kingdom. Right, Rudy Page?
Absolutely, Dervan. You're spot on. And that period of time is between 1948 and 1973.
And so next year, obviously, is the 75th anniversary of the Windrush.
Yeah. So it now impacts on probably 5 or 6 generations. So the first generation would be my father's generation, and so what you've got now are a lot of initiatives being led by the second generation. That's my generation, and we're working out that in this difficult situation, there's much to be celebrated, and that's our role on that side to. And hence the theme: hope, strength, and belonging.
Yes.
And belonging is important for all generations to understand that they do belong somewhere in spite of. And that's why it's important to build relationships through families and friends and neighborhoods and communities, because that's where people draw their strength from.
Yes.
And that's important to celebrate that. And then hope for the future. That's really important as well.
Right.
So if I just run very quickly,
sure,
just to mention about the Gleaner Honour Awards. It was a great occasion, great celebration, and in fact, it was the first meeting that many people have been out and about to see friends. So the Platinum Award went to Diane Abbott, MP, Member of Parliament, done great work. If you just Google Diane Abbott, you'll see her great achievements. So I won't go into any details for everybody, but just to mention their names. Professor Sir Jeff Palmer, Emeritus Professor, Heriot-Watt University, Scotland, for his work in science and technology. Dr. Agri Burke, a retired psychiatrist and academic, done great work in health and wellness. Baroness Lawrence, the mother of Stephen Lawrence, that was the black teenager who was murdered in the Gregson attack in 1993. And she's done great work, really influenced the way race relations in this country. Former British Olympian Tessa Sanderson, gold medal winning javelin thrower. There was a special award for Al Hamilton, sports journalist, and he now resides in Jamaica somewhere, enjoying himself. I saw him the other day. He set up the original Commonwealth Sports Awards, again recognising a lot of talent from the Jamaica and the wider diaspora that up until then were not really getting the coverage for their achievements. And I should also say that the whole event was welcomed by Dr. Andrea Messam, Chief Financial Officer for RJR Gleaner Group, and the event itself was hosted by Janelle Rayburn, very talented young lady. She's great when it comes to these sorts of events. And the Arts and Culture Award went to
Dexter McLean, great photographic work. The Business and Commerce Award went to Blue Jay Cafe. Those of you who live in South London will know that. Portland Road, South London. And that's Joy and Dave Blake. Then Dr. Velma McClymont. She was presented for education. She's also an educational activist and author. Kyo Brown for entertainment, great musician, born in Jamaica, mixes jazz, soul and reggae, and he's played with all the major artists over the years. He's an educationist as well. And then Anthony Walters, and he's a fine artist. He won the Philanthropy Award, and he's a founder of an organization called Living Space Art School, along with his wife. And they do a lot of transformational work of young people and communities, and they use art for that. And the Sports Award, this was really popular, went to Steve Stevenson. He's done a lot of work supporting Jamaican and the wider Caribbean and female cricketers when they've toured England. He's done a lot of work. He helped set up the Victoria Mutual Caribbean Cricket Cup, and worked very closely with Sir Clive Lloyd. And then for voluntary service, Wenger Irwin, again done great outstanding work in the community to support seniors from the Windrush generation. He set up a project called Ageless Teenagers Project in Romford in Essex. So there's been great achievements, and it's great to see these people recognised. And then finally, the Weekly Gleaner itself was presented with an award, Windrush Caribbean Housing Association. They're in South London. They presented the Weekly Gleaner for its outstanding achievements as a black business enterprise in the UK. And this was presented by Simeon Grosset to our very good friend, George Ruddock. And then finally, the vote of thanks was given by Yvonne Wilkes O'Grady, Corporate Affairs Group Marketing Consultant for RJR. And we really look forward to next year's event.
Definitely.
So, it's a great event.
Once again, we always like to ask, where can our listeners go to keep track of the multiplicity of activities that Making Connections work is involved in? Rudy Page, what's a good place to go?
The easiest place would be to makingconnectionswork.com, and if you want to fill in the contact us sheet at the back, then we can send a list of activities. Because it's always been updated, so the website is always behind. So we just send a list out these days now.
Yes, the poor website can't keep up with you, eh?
That's right. There's too many events. There's too many events and activities on the website.
Yes, understood. Well, thanks a lot. Would love to talk some more, but we have to leave it there now. We're over time. But thank you very much for the tremendous work you continue to do, and you're getting kudos as usual from our listeners for the work that you have done as well. Thank you very much, and we'll talk again soon.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye-bye. Rudy Page, the Chief Executive Officer of Making Connections Work Limited. This is the Jamaican Diaspora live online on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. And there's another big event. We haven't told you about all the events, right? Because there's another big event happening tonight in the UK. Is it? Let me just make sure. But it's happening. It's the Jet UK fundraising ball and awards. But there are so many events happening. We're just confirming that we're not mixing up the events, Right. So this one is actually next Saturday, the 12th of November, the Jet UK fundraising ball and awards. And to tell us more is the chairman of Jet UK, Mr. Seymour Mattis. Good day to you. How are you?
Good day, good day to you, indeed, sir. Thank you for having me on your show.
It's a pleasure to have you join us. Can you recount for us the genesis of Jet UK, and then you can remind us of the purpose.
Genesis to Revelation, I take you want. Okay, then. Beginning and the end. All right.
Yes.
So basically, Jet UK stands for Jamaica Education Task Force UK, and that was set up in 2013 at the Jamaican High Commission out of the recommendation of the biennial conference that year in 2013 in Jamaica, and it was set up by educators, facilitated by the previous High Commissioner, you know her very well, Aluna Samba. I can't say the rest of it. Aluna Samba, right?
Yes.
That's it. That's her. And we, in a nutshell, we actually, as I said, we're all educated. We all have different specialisms from STEAM, as it's now called, science, technology, engineering, art and mathematics, to special educational needs, to literacy, modern foreign languages. Some of our members, board members, teaches French as well as Spanish, your favorite, and also computer science, and among other things.
Yes.
Okay, but those are the key areas, and we were actually set up to provide educational support to holistic education in Jamaica, and one of the first things that we embarked upon was to renovate Padmore Primary School, that famous school in Jamaica in St. Andrew, because they were earmarked for closure. And when we heard that the principal actually sold her home, that's Keisha Hale, she sold her home.
Yes.
So
Sorry, just remind us when we come back from this break. Bear with us. Sorry to cut you. We have to take the break. Remind us of that story, because I'm not sure how many people remembered. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
15 minutes to 8 o'clock in the morning here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means it's 1:45 in the afternoon in Birmingham, England.
Monkeypox is in Jamaica. If you are experiencing fever, intense headache, muscle aches, and/or rash on the skin, you must isolate immediately and call ahead to your health center or doctor before visiting. All members of the public should wear a mask, frequently wash hands, and practice physical distancing. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Tune in to Farm Talk every second and third Tuesday of each month at 6:18 a.m. for the feature High Pro Food Independence. High Pro Food Independence will focus on solutions for farmers, such as land, animal husbandry, agronomy, and more. That's High Pro Food Independence every second and third Tuesday from 6:18 to 6:30 a.m. during Farm Talk, only on Power 106 FM. High Pro Food Independence is sponsored by High Pro.
Saturday Night Fever blazes on Fame Frequency. It's Saturday. Let the music take you back, way back, as you party to the best retro hits mixed by the Captain Colin Hines, Dalton Lee, and DJ Denvo. It's a Saturday Night Fever, 9 p.m. to midnight, live on Fame 95.FM, Hits 92.7, and RETV. Online at OneSpot Media and on Mixcloud at Fame Frequency. Dance to the retroactive favorites alongside your Energizer family, Jenny in your Zoom VIP Waterfront area, powered by Smirnoff Vodka, the world's #1 vodka. You must be 18 years or older. Drink to responsibly. Saturday Night Fever this Saturday, blazing on same frequency. See you there. Wherever you go, in tribute to Jamaicans in the diaspora.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on the Jamaican Diaspora live online on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Our guest is Mr. Seymour Mattis. He's the chairman of the Jamaica Education Task Force UK. That's JET UK for short. They're having their fundraising ball and awards next Saturday. And he's been giving us a bit of background, because you know how it is. We don't take it for granted that everybody listening know the story and the story behind the story, so to speak. So you were reminding us, as just before we took the break, Seymour Mattis, of how JET UK came into being and came to be what it is today.
That's right. That's right, sir. And what I was actually saying to you, in 2015, when we heard about the situation at Padmore Primary School, that they were earmarked for closure, and I was born in St. Andrew, so to hear a school like that going under, I actually visited the school and saw what the state of the school was, and you know, very deeply moved by that. So I actually was able to raise some funds and actually help to renovate the school and bring it back into a state of where it could be used for you know, what it was intended to. Because the ministry at the time, the reason why they want to close it as well is because it reckoned it was unsafe. So we renovated the school anyway, to the delight of the principal and our colleagues and the school community as a whole. Right? That's Padmore Primary School in Red Hills.
Yes.
So you know, we also extended that to other schools like Buff Bay Primary. We painted all that school, as well as Bull Bay, my alma mater school. And you know, we sent a lot of resources. We used to send quite a lot of barrels, and we've continued that over the years. And we've just done quite a lot of that recently, where we sent you know, resources to 20 schools, and also run some workshops even this year. A number of workshops in Jamaica. But that's what we do. We actually, as I said, each year we actually run workshops in Jamaica. And it's primarily so far been in STEAM, but we've expanded on that. We'll be doing special educational needs, literacy, modern foreign languages, and computer science and coding, that kind of stuff, right, with the schools. We have a large principal association group, so we're able to reach out to various schools in Jamaica, and that keeps on expanding as well. That's our membership that we have. So, but we don't just support one parish; we support all 14, and that's where we're at with that. So each year we have a fundraising event to actually raise funds to you know, to run our projects in Jamaica. That's where we are. So I don't know if you're going to answer that separately, but next week Saturday will be our first fundraising event since 2019 due to the pandemic. So we're having that on the next week Saturday, November 12th, 2022, and it starts at UK time, 6 p.m. and finishes at 11 p.m. and it's a black tie event. Okay, we have various performers. We have True Identity Trio, who from UK, Stephen Wise from Jamaica, Nicola Senator Ebanks from Jamaica. Rodney Bygrave from UK. She's a Jet UK board member. And Floyd Paris is a jazz, musician. And also we have Anna's Comedy. Everything is like a comedy sketch. And that's facilitated by Doreen Mackenzie. And to rock the house, we have DJ Cowboy, named Luther. Okay, and we'll have some nice food. That's one of the things that we've come to be known for. We've had people calling us up saying that's the best food they've ever tasted. We've had one. That's the one in 218 in particular. So we expect to have a high standard. Okay, and for the VIP, the ticket is £70, and will be table service for VIPs. With extra goodies and stuff. The standard ticket will be £60. And again, they have a very good particular, entertainment and food and everything involved in that. So it's good stuff. We expect to keep a high standard up.
Yeah.
And we will be having an award as well. The award is something that we're notable for. Is a number of Jamaica schools will receive awards, and also some schools who supported us in the UK will be receiving awards as well, and obviously some mystery awards, which we will not limit to this.
Keeping those very close to your chest, right?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. So, but I have to say that we have. I refer to them as our group as the Green Dream Team. Mm-hmm. We have Jackie, who everyone knows she's a primary teacher trainer from a university. She's obviously a consultant now, and we have Evadne, who's been assistant head teacher. Evadne Bygrave, and we have Angie Brooks, who is also been head of department and modern foreign languages, and we have Dr. Carl Nicholson, who is a principal of Special Education Leads College, and we have computer scientists, Dr. O'Neill Delprat, and Anthony Thompson is an English teacher, and we have a host of other people who are actually, as part of our group. And so we're actually formidable and good to go. And our partners really is the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. We're quite close to the ministry. And also the National Education Trust, who is an arm of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, and as well as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade. Okay, so that's where we are. So we're asking people far and wide, to support our cause. It's a worthy cause because we know due to the pandemic, if you visited the schools, a lot of people probably go to one. I go to many. So, and I've seen the state of these schools, from termites actually eating off all the wooden furnitures and tables, tables and chairs and everything else, to the books and whatever. So they have to restart, from scratch basically in very different ways. And we don't just we supply resources all the time, but we also sponsor students. A lot of them they have iPad. People sometimes supply these iPads and stuff like that, and great. It's a great thing. But what they don't recognize is that they need to supply some finances to run those things, because they need to have a data plan in order for that to work. So we actually sponsor students within the schools as well, for their data plans. And that's where we are. We also provide CPD training. We've successfully run CPD training. So that means stands for continuous professional development. Here for principals and students in Jamaica. We did one in 2019, and that was a resounding success, where they were able to visit various schools in the UK, thanks to those schools, basically able to have a greater insight as to how the education system works in the UK, as well as curriculum, how it works in UK, and they were able to leave with invaluable information that they could use in their schools, to help, with their teaching and learning.
Yeah. So to do all of that work, it takes cash to care, as former Prime Minister Siaga once said. How, for those listening who perhaps they might very well be just hearing about the fundraiser for next Saturday, where can they go? How do they get tickets? And yes, go ahead.
Yeah, good point. Right. What it is, it's made easy for them, right? To a large extent. It all depends on where they are. If they know us, they can contact us directly, either me or any of the board members, Jackie, invite me, Carol, anyone, one of our board members. But we have our Facebook page, and that's the Facebook is at JetUK.org. That's at JETUK.org. That's our Facebook page. Okay, and it's all on there. Also link to Eventbrite to be able to purchase tickets. We're also on Twitter, which is at all uppercase JETUK3. Okay, and we're on Instagram as well, which is at JETUK_2017. Okay, and those are ways they can go to actually purchase tickets. So
and generally to follow. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they can also go on my page, Seymour Mattis. But all of, to follow us, they basically they can go to the Facebook is a very good one to go on. We have quite a number of followers on there at the moment.
Yes.
So the Facebook is a good place to go. I recommend that. But that's the easiest place to actually obtain tickets. It's on Eventbrite, and we lowered the costs, to allow them to actually purchase tickets more easily.
Wonderful.
Right? So they even though the charges, it's because we've actually lowered our costs. Everybody's charging like £65 per ticket or £75. We've lowered our costs. So if when they go on there and they see they're making a little charge, it's because of that, really.
Understood. Sorry, go ahead, because we're out of time. Let's go ahead.
Yeah. So they can do search on Eventbrite as well for events. And it's Jamaica Education Task Force UK, and they'll be able to do that. So we look forward to everyone supporting us. Parking is free from 4 o'clock to all over the weekend. It's at Leighton, near Leighton Station, at the 1A, Adelaide Road. It's all on the flyer. If you go on the website and the actual Facebook, you'll see all of that. Okay, Adelaide Road, 1A Adelaide Road in Leighton. That's E10, 5NN. Okay.
Right.
They can also email me at vitaleet@hotmail.co.uk, or they can email JetUK at inquiries@jet-uk.org.uk.
We're out of time.
That's where we are.
Thank you very much, Seymour Mattis.
Indeed.
We wish you a successful fundraiser next weekend. All the very best. Take care.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
8:02 in the morning, and apologies for the late time signal.
at
Jesus, oh Jesus, oh how I love to call your name.
Tune in to Power 106 FM for the longest running religious call-in program on Jamaican radio, The Prayer Line. Join Pastor Errol Hay and his team as they offer spiritual guidance and intercession grounded in biblical doctrine. Hear powerful testimonies from Jamaica and around the world.
Tonight I just want to say I'm standing in the presence of God and I am covered under the blood of Jesus.
The Prayer Line, a source of support and inspiration in these trying times. That's The Prayer Line on Power 106 FM, Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Join us.
You shall live and declare the works of the Lord. Amen. You shall be a living testimony here on the Lord's side.
You can access free medical care at the University Hospital of the West Indies, UHWI. This arrangement is in response to the increase in viral illnesses and resulting overcrowding at the Bustamante Hospital for Children, which is usually seen this time of year. Children and the elderly are among the most vulnerable groups, especially at this time, as the flu and gastroenteritis season intensifies. Jamaicans are reminded to only take paracetamol and to visit the nearest health center if symptoms do not improve.
Listen to your favorite programs live on the Power 106 FM app. You can download the app on Google Play Store and the App Store. Can't catch your favorite show live? Then listen to your show on our podcast library, wherever you are, whenever you wish. Power 106 FM, the digital sound, where all views can contend. Now online via the Power 106 FM app.
Some stations lead, others follow, except no imitations. This is Power 106.
Wherever you go, in tribute to Jamaicans in the diaspora.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Let's get ready for our next segment. In fact, let's just clear a couple of these messages first. Going down the line. This one says, Dr. Trevor Dixon, your great work will not go unnoticed. Good luck with this evening's event. And that is coming from Dr. Rosemary Adamson Lewis. Joan in Bermuda says, good morning, Sir D. Congrats, Angelia Christian, on your great work. All the very best with your gala this evening. Dr. Trevor Dixon, says Joan in Bermuda. Steve in Toronto, Canada. We did check the audio, Steve, and we were hearing, it wasn't the loudest, but we were hearing pretty clearly what was being said. I hope that adjustment is now reflected on your system. Steve, good morning. Angelia Christian says, good morning, Dr. Dixon. Success on your event tonight. If I had known, I would have flown that way and overnighted, then to the UK next time. Thank you, Dervan Malcolm, for your support. You know what we always say, Angel. You're welcome. You're the ones doing the heavy lifting. We're just happy and we feel privileged to be able to share your work with Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello, B. Jew. Good to see you online in New York. Hello to Mr. B and to Jorvilia. Good morning, Dervan. Have a blessed weekend, says B. Jew. Thank you very much, Bijou, for connecting with us here on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online, all the way from New York. Let's continue now and you've been hearing a couple of the candidates for the vying for the position of global Jamaica Diaspora Council representatives, and in this segment coming up, we want to learn more about efforts to create a greater level of awareness as to the role and function of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, and also to provide a platform for the candidates vying for the respective positions to introduce themselves to the diaspora and to Jamaica, so that people can decide and determine who to support for the position, for example, of Global Jamaica Diaspora Council representative for the Southeastern United States. And to help us to preview that upcoming town hall and related matters of sensitization as far as the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council elections are concerned, we have the president of the Jamaica American International Chamber of Commerce, JAICC, Ms. Marcia Parker. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Dervan. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Thank you so much for joining us. Also on the
Thank
line,
you for having us.
you're welcome. Also on the line, Mr. Craig Gentles, Town Hall Team Lead, Financial Committee Chairman, and Needs Assistance at JAICC. Welcome, Mr. Gentles.
Good morning, Dervan. Thank you for having me.
A pleasure to have you on board. And Nicole Williams is Brand Specialist and Public Relations Officer with the JAICC. Welcome, Nicole Williams.
Thank you, Dervan. Just a correction, Nicole Palmer.
I beg your pardon.
Williams is a previous name.
Okay, that's all right. Making the adjustment now. Nicole Palmer, thank you very much. And I'm Dervan Malcolm. Thank you all so much for joining us. Marcia Parker, please help us to lay the foundation for this segment by establishing the essence of the Jamaica America International Chamber of Commerce.
So, our chamber is just like any other chamber. Our goal is to promote and facilitate small and minority business, but we have compartmentalized our chamber into 3 different departments, and of course, the diaspora is in alignment with what we do in the chamber in terms of promoting and facilitating and advancing small and minority businesses. And it's just not Jamaican businesses, but it's every business, whether you're American, whether you are African, whatever businesses you are. As long as you are a small business, consider your business a small business or a minority business, then we will facilitate what you do. And so for us, for the diaspora, and according to the purpose of the diaspora and in standing in alignment with what our mission is, we have decided to bring forth the town hall meeting where we would bring the candidates to the front. And part of what we're doing is bringing awareness and educating everybody that doesn't know, or those who have known. We want them to be more involved and strengthen the diaspora.
Well put. So now tell us, please, Craig Gentles, of the plans, the logistics, the operationalization of this town hall, so that we can get an idea of what to expect, and therefore spread the word so that people will come on board to be a part of the experience.
Okay, so just to take a step back in terms of what Marcia said.
Yes.
You know, our chamber is very much like all other chambers, but we really try to go to the need of the business. and the entrepreneur. So when we think about the diaspora, one of the things that we found is that most of entrepreneurs and diaspora, minority businesses, they don't really know the value that the diaspora can bring to their business.
That is so true.
And that's a need. That's a need that we have found.
Yes.
And because of that, we are now seeking to educate them on the value of the diaspora and to partner with all of the stakeholders to see how better we can promote and further put forward our agenda as a chamber to pretty much, develop the economical power of the diaspora and the small businesses and minority businesses in the US and in Jamaica and ultimately globally, right? So this debate is one of the ways in which we see that would create a big impact for the diaspora, for the educating of its members, and to empower not only the businesses but all of the diaspora so that we can get better results from it overall.
Yes.
Now, how we're going to be doing this is that this will be a Zoom held debate that will be on November 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Now, we have a flyer that we're distributing, and we will allow, on the flyer you will see pretty much the different candidates that will be putting forward themselves for this position, which is like the chairman of the Southeast region, right? And we have special guests who are Dr. Elaine Bryan and Dr. Alan Cunningham, right? So it is our goal that with this debate, we'll be stimulating the information that everyone needs to be able to can choose which candidate they feel would better support their agenda as it relates to the diaspora and what they would want from it.
Very well put. And
Yes.
somebody wants to come in there. Who's that? That's Marcia?
No. Nicole.
Nicole, sorry.
I was just going to add.
Go ahead.
Craig did a great job of basically telling what this is all about. So we just wanted to add, in addition to basically exposing the candidates who are vying for this position, is to also help answer questions that the diaspora has, or that.
All right, sorry, just
know.
hold it right there for a moment. We're up on the break. We'll give you an opportunity to restate your position. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
15 minutes past 8 o'clock in the morning here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means it's 9:15 a.m. in Atlanta, Georgia.
It's that time again for the Lauriston and Thompson Pen 4-H Club Stew Festival. This Saturday, November 5, Brooklyn Park, Thompson Pen, Spanish Town. Everything stew, plus Kiddies Village and entertainment all day. Power 106 FM will be on location, keeping you in the loop with all the happenings. This live broadcast is brought to you by the Lauriston and Thompson Pen Community 4-H Club, Sammy Shoe Store, and Robinson Forklift and Repair Services. That's Power 106 FM's live coverage of the Lauriston and Thompson Pen 4-H Club Stew Festival this Saturday, November 5 from 2 to 4 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM.
Wherever you go, in tribute to Jamaicans in the diaspora, wherever you go, you shine. You make us proud. Despite our challenges at home, you never give up on us. Our sincere thanks. Wherever you go.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on the Jamaican Diaspora live online on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Good morning to Natalie Winter in Washington Gardens. here in Jamaica, Karen Dunkley. Dr. Karen Dunkley uh, she just named Patrick S. Maitland. And Dr. Dunkley says, good morning, Ambassador Malcolm. Excited for Jaja Foundation's event today, of course. Dr. Dunkley will be delivering the charge, so to speak, at this evening's fundraiser in Garfield, New Jersey. And she says, Dr. Dixon is an amazing son of the soil. The legacy of Jaja is unmatched. Thank you very much. Keep those comments coming in as we continue our discussion, looking at the Jamaica America International Chamber of Commerce, JAICC, in Georgia, the state of Georgia in the United States, and their plans to host a town hall for the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council candidates, those vying to represent the southeastern United States. And for that discussion, we have the president of the Jamaica America International Chamber of Commerce, JAICC, Ms. Marcia Parker, the town hall team lead and financial committee chairman and needs assistance, Craig Gentles, and brand specialist and public relations officer for the JAICC, Nicole Williams, who just before we took the break was giving us her input on this upcoming experience. If you could just restate and continue, please, Nicole.
I was basically just adding to what Craig already noted, noting that while a few pockets of the diaspora is aware of the Diaspora Council, there are so many who do not know that it exists. And it is our goal and hope that by helping to host and create this platform for not just the candidates, but for the Diaspora Council, that we will be able to help bring more awareness and visibility to people who are not aware of the diaspora and what the Diaspora Council can do for them. And, of course, in alignment with the mission of the Chamber, which is not just to stimulate business growth, but also to improve the lives of the people, not just in Georgia here where we are, but also, in Jamaica and, of course, across the Caribbean diaspora and beyond.
Yes. And Marcia Parker, have you already met with the candidates and outlined all the necessary details, or is that in motion? Is that in to be pursued?
Yes, I have spoken to all candidates. What they don't know is that the questions that are being formulated, and they won't know the questions that are being formulated. The questions will be surprising to all of them, because one of the things why it's done that way is because we don't want persons to think about what they can say about the questions that are being asked, but just tell us if that's your intention. Then just tell us that's what you're going to do. So all the questions are spur of the moment questions. They don't know, but I've definitely spoken to all three candidates. For now, we only have three candidates that we know of. We are listening to see if there will be anyone else who will be vying for the position also. One of the things that we're also trying to do is to have that unification with the Consul General, which is Oliver Meir, and Ambassador Marks, who is in Washington, D.C., our honorary consul, Dr. Elaine Bryan, and Dr. Amari Fullerton, who is in Texas. And we want to invite all of them as special guests. And so we're doing this in a way to kind of have the diaspora and persons outside of the diaspora know these persons, know our representation, and also get to know the candidates that are vying for the position, as all of my colleagues have said, as so mentioned before. And so we are doing our due diligence in putting this town hall together.
If Craig Gentles, thank you, Marcia Parker. Craig Gentles, give us an idea now of the format. What will the format of the town hall be?
Okay, the format will pretty much be have a facilitator,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he will allow, he or she will pretty much present the questions, and each candidate will be allotted a certain time to respond to those questions. There will also be the avenue for persons to put forward, whether through by sending messages to questions that they would want to ask. And then we would have a team that would look at some of those questions and see which one, if the time allots, that we can put into those questions that we were presenting to the candidates. We try to make it as concise as possible. We don't want it to go too long, and try to be mindful of everybody's time. So we're trying to get the maximum amount of engagement from the diaspora, and to really ask the questions that is important to most of the diaspora, if not all.
Yes.
That's pretty much the framework.
Good. And Nicole,
and we'll also do a roll call, of course, from our special guest.
Indeed. And so now, in terms of the marketing of this town hall, the promotion of the town hall, what approach are you and the other members of the team taking, Nicole Williams, in publicizing this town hall, so that you first of all get people's attention and keep it leading up to, that's before, during, and after?
So we are utilizing a variety of strategic communications methods, including, of course, being on programs like shows like yours. Of course, digital marketing, of course, content, working with other members of the diaspora, or leading up a variety of different organizations, communicating with them via different formats, reaching out so that we can create strategic partnerships as a way to effectively market and reach those people that we cannot reach by ourselves.
Mm-hmm. And is this likely to be the approach that the Jamaica America International Chamber of Commerce, JAICC, going forward, once there is the situation where members of the diaspora are vying for positions as global Jamaica diaspora representatives? Is it that you're taking the lead on this, and from henceforth this is going to be your approach once it comes around to once those positions become available or vacant?
Well, we hope as a chamber to be a relentless advocate, partner, and ally with, of course, small business owners as well as the community in which they serve. So anything that aligns with helping to improve lives, whether it is through business, through economic development, through community engagement and stuff, we want to be a part of that. We want to make sure that as long as it aligns with our mission and help to drive not just the members of our chambers, but also the community within which they serve, here and abroad.
Mm-hmm. And in general terms, Craig Gentles, can you give us an idea of how vibrant the Jamaica America International Chamber of Commerce, JAICC, has been?
Okay. As it relates to vibrant, we try to serve the needs that are not readily met. Because, as Marcia said, we are a chamber just like any other chamber. But there are needs that have not been met. And for example, what we're talking about now in terms of diaspora, as basic as it may seem, most of us really do not know what the diaspora is and what the benefits are. And it may seem as something as basic to some people, but in general, if you don't know what something is, you can't really get the benefit of it, and you can't get the participation that you need. So we have been vibrant, and this is just one area in which we have been vibrant in. There are other areas, for example, we aim to identify what the needs are of your business, right? And we try to keep an ongoing relationship with businesses. So, for example, as a needs specialist with JAICC, we do follow-ups in terms of, as a member, you get initially, you do a needs assessment, and then we continue with you, whether it's quarterly, to follow up in terms of what your needs are. So we keep abreast with our members to know what is going on and what the needs are and how to shift, and use that to guide our direction as a chamber.
Sounds like service with a personal touch.
Definitely.
Yeah, and so it should be. So now, Nicole Williams, let's get our listeners even more excited about this town hall coming up. Just remind us of what we need to know. Is there a website we can go to? Is there a page we can log on to and follow the build up to the town hall? And then, of course, for the town hall itself, what are the links in terms of Zoom, etc.?
So the link that they will be able to log on to is bit.ly/JAICC for Southeast Diaspora 2022. So that's bit.ly/JAICC Diaspora 2022. And they'll be able to log on to that link to be a part of the town hall. We are also posting all across social media, and of course, they can use the hashtag JAICC Southeast Diaspora 2022.
And in terms of the questions, Craig Gentles, if I could just go back to that a bit, is will there be any opportunities for those who are live online on the Zoom link at that time to ask questions of the candidates, or will all questions have to go through a particular channel, so to speak, and then directed to the candidates?
Yes, the questions would have to go through a particular channel.
Okay. Understood. That is quite clear. Well, we want to wish you all a successful town hall. Listeners, it takes place when the 10th. That's Thursday, correct?
Correct, 8 p.m.
Yes.
Yes, Thursday the 10th, 8 p.m. and that's 8 p.m. Well,
Eastern
we'll be on the
Standard
same time. Yes, we'll be on the same time by then, because the time changes tonight, isn't it? Tonight into tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Yes, daylight saving time. Right. So it's at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock next Thursday, and it's an opportunity to hear more about and from the candidates seeking to represent the southeastern United States in this Global Jamaica Diaspora Council election. And we're looking forward to it. We thank you all so much for your work, and we will be happy to keep in touch with you and be back in touch with you again, perhaps pretty soon, as we continue to provide a platform to expose and highlight the work of the Jamaica America International Chamber of Commerce, JAICC. Well done.
Thank you, Dervan.
Thank you so much, Dervan, and thank you for having us.
It's been a pleasure. Take care, and we're looking forward to next week. Can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Marcia Parker, President of the Jamaica International Chamber of Commerce, JAICC. Craig Gentles, Town Hall Team Lead, Financial Committee Chairman, and he's a needs specialist at the JAICC. And also Nicole Williams, Brand Specialist and Public Relations Officer with the JAICC. There's more after the break.
Protecting Jamaica's borders from illicit imports and exports is a key priority for the Jamaica Customs Agency. The JCA will remain vigilant and resolute in effectively fulfilling this mandate. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
8:32 on Power 106.
Tune in to Farm Talk every second and third Tuesday of each month at 6:18 a.m. for the feature High Pro Food Independence. High Pro Food Independence will focus on solutions for farmers, such as land, animal husbandry, agronomy, and more. That's High Pro Food Independence every second and third Tuesday from 6:18 to 6:30 a.m. during Farm Talk, only on Power 106 FM. High Pro Food Independence is sponsored by High Pro.
In tribute to Jamaicans in the diaspora, wherever you go, you shine. You make us proud. Despite our challenges at home, you never give up on us. Our sincere thanks. Wherever you go.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Good morning to Patrick Maitland, who is joining us shortly. He's already up and on Facebook Live. Good to have you on board, Patrick Maitland. And Asha Ash still with us in London. Thank you very much for staying in touch with us on the line, and all the very best to you as we go through the program and highlight your input at various levels on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online here on Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And just a reminder of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council and how it functions. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade tells us that it's a mechanism geared at facilitating more effective engagement between Jamaica and the diaspora, and that the council will be established towards the end of, and has been established, and reflecting a greater level of inclusivity, expansion, and collaboration among and within the Jamaican diaspora, and reinforcing the critical partnership between Jamaica and its diaspora for national development. Right now, we have a couple of Jamaicans who have been and continue to be involved in national development here in Jamaica and across the diaspora. And that work continues. And so let's welcome at this time the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council representative for the Northeast, Dr. Karen Dunkley. Good day to you. How are you?
Greetings and salutations. A pleasant morning, a pleasant day to you and your listeners, Ambassador Malcolm. Thank you so much for having us.
Pleasure to have you on board. And I think the title at this time is what? Outgoing Global Jamaica Diaspora Council representative for the Northeast.
Yes, it is indeed the title at this time. We're excited to welcome the next leader, whoever that person may be. And we're certainly in the process of getting the information out now about voter registration. The ministry will soon have an active link so that all members of the diaspora really will have a chance to ensure that they exercise their right to vote and to have their voices heard in terms of who gets to represent and collaborate on their behalf with the government of Jamaica and different agencies in Jamaica.
Very good. Thank you for that, Dr. Dunkley. And also online we have Mr. Patrick Maitland, who, among other things, is, and for the purpose of this initiative that we're going to be discussing, he is the publisher of the Agriculturalist. Mr. Maitland, morning. How are you?
Good morning, sir. I'm really happy to be here this morning with you and Dr. Dunkley on the other line.
Very, very happy to have you both on. So, in this, in the courting period, who proposed? Who was it? Was it was it Dr. Dunkley, which wouldn't be strange in this day and age, or was it Patrick Maitland?
Well, Dr. Dunkley has been that person I've known for quite a number of years. Very dynamic lady, intellectual powerhouse. So most time I run things by her, and she's always there to give me real good advice. So I would say maybe me, and I'm happy for that.
Yes. Well, let's talk about what this union has produced so far, or is looking to produce. You want to take that, Dr. Dunkley?
Absolutely, and I think and just to set the context and go to Patrick, because he is indeed, as you say, in this instance, we know him as just really having an amazing, I would say Patrick Dervan is one of those multidimensional Jamaicans. So he has an amazing acumen to really multitask and to leverage his different talents. And one of the areas in which Patrick is particularly gifted is in the area of agriculture and food. In fact, that is how I first met Mr. Maitland many years ago through a very good friend of mine, Victor Cummins, because I became extremely interested in food production in Jamaica, preservation, and some of the issues that small farmers were facing, because my family, we are also small farmers in Jamaica. So this tour of the Minister of Agriculture is conceptualized by the Agriculturalist magazine. It's in association with JAMPO, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, the Consulate General of Jamaica, New York, Farm of Jamaica, and of course the Jamaica Diaspora Northeast. And Patrick can say more. But from the diaspora perspective, we have heard a lot, Ambassador Malcolm, about concerns just around food and agriculture in general. For example, the high cost of food in Jamaica and our importation bill. Can we feed ourselves? Can we grow what we eat? We have heard issues around the availability of farmlands and the concern that arable and fertile lands are being diminished through sale for other uses. We know that issues such as predial larceny continue to plague small farmers, especially those who are unable to properly already resource their farms. I know from personal experience, my family is up in Elderslie, St. Elizabeth, and even the people who work with us, when the crops then grow, Ambassador Malcolm, when they're ready, when they're mature, when the chickens are mature, they sometimes are the one who come back and they take these, they steal them. So predial larceny continues, insurance. So we have a plethora of issues, but then we also have opportunities in Jamaica that the diaspora may not be aware of. So this, again, this tour, this agricultural tour, is to collaborate with the diaspora, connect with the diaspora, and communicate. So at this point, Ambassador Patrick, as the leader of the agriculturalists who conceptualized the tour, could perhaps weigh in further.
Oh, by all means, please give us the mechanics of this agricultural apparatus, please, Patrick Maitland.
All right. I mean, Dr. Dunkley has expounded on it so well. But, this tour came by, I don't want to say accident or default. So my friend Annette Runchi from Panache, they normally put on an annual fundraising gala to raise funds to support youth, especially against gun violence, and just to help to empower young people. So she called me. She said, Patrick, a lot of people in Jamaica need a young, dynamic speaker to speak at my forum, at my gala. And right away I thought about the Minister of Agriculture. I mean, he's not the only young and dynamic speaker in Jamaica, but, and we always talk about food as well. So I said, Annette, the best person is the Minister of Agriculture, Pernell Charles Jr. And we just kick off with it. And I sent him a note without hesitation. He said, oh, yes. When is it? Right. And so, we discussed it. We discussed the aspect of it. And right away, he mentioned that his Growth Smart, Eat Smart campaign would fit right into that tour. So what we did, we decided to target a number of people. The importers of Jamaican fresh produce always face challenges with Jamaican produce. It's too late, it's too small amount, and a lot of inconsistency. So we said, all right, we start right there. So the first event we have planned is a breakfast meeting with the food importers. And there's a wide range of people. So they are going to meet up with the minister and have a good talk to look at how Jamaica can improve the relations to make sure we boost the export of food. Then the next thing we decide is to also visit some of the farm market or the markets that sell the Jamaican produce. So we're going to be visiting places like Sam Caribbean Marketplace. Dervan, you may have known that gentleman, but nearly 20, 30 years now, he has started that establishment in Long Island. And
Andrew Morris.
It's marvelous.
Yes.
Andrew Morris.
Mm-hmm.
It's marvelous. So we're going to visit this place. We're going to visit the Brooklyn Terminal, Caribbean Depot, and Jito Farms. You go there, they have a wide range of farm produce. But unfortunately, the majority is not from Jamaica, but it's huge enough to claim a part of it. So we're going to visit that establishment as well. The next thing we look at is that we want to see how Jamaican produce get into the process field, the manufacturing. And we talk about Golden Cross as a Jamaican establishment, Royal Caribbean Bakery, and also Tower Isle Patties. All these are massive companies owned by Jamaican, right? And this time, Golden Cross was able to accommodate us at the short notice. And so we'll be visiting Golden Cross, but we want to visit we want to take other ministers to the other establishment as well. And this is very important because remember, there's so much things we can put in the patties, right? The pepper alone is a huge market, and most time they cannot get that potent Jamaican pepper to put in it. They need callaloo, they need other vegetables, and they just not getting it. So this is another place that the minister will visit and to really see how the operation is in place. So it's and then to top it all, we have a town hall meeting, and then this meeting will be an open forum where everybody can, interact with the minister. So it's a 2-day, 3-day, well packed with events, and we are really excited about it. Okay, one last thing. So we also gonna have a reception in his honor.
Hold on. Tell us about that reception after the break, please, listeners. Our guests, Patrick Maitland, publisher of the Agriculturalist, and Dr. Karen Dunkley, the outgoing Global Jamaica Diaspora Council representative for the Northeast USA, as we give you a preview of this upcoming tour, Food Security, the Jamaican Perspective. Food Security, the Jamaican Perspective.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
15 minutes to 9 o'clock in the morning here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Well, that was 15 minutes. Now 14 minutes to 9 o'clock in Jamaica, 14 minutes to 10 o'clock in New York, New York.
It's that time again for the Lauriston and Thompson Pen 4-H Club Stew Festival. This Saturday, November 5, Brooklyn Park, Thompson Pen, Spanish Town. Everything stew, plus Kiddies Village and entertainment all day. Power 106 FM will be on location, keeping you in the loop with all the happenings. This live broadcast is brought to you by the Lauriston and Thompson Pen Community 4-H Club, Sammy Shoe Store, and Robinson Forklift and Repair Services. That's Power 106 FM's live coverage of the Lauriston and Thompson Pen 4-H Club Stew Festival this Saturday, November 5 from 2 to 4 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM.
In tribute to Jamaicans in the diaspora, wherever you go, you shine. You make us proud. Despite our challenges at home, you never give up on us. Our sincere thanks. Wherever you go.
The newspaper for progressive farmers is at it again. The Agriculturalist, this time in association with JAMPRO, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, the Consulate General of Jamaica in New York, Farm Up Jamaica, and the Jamaica Diaspora Northeast USA, presenting Food Security, the Jamaican Perspective, featuring the Honorable Pernell Charles Jr., Jamaica's Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, and quite a number of stops along the way in terms of this tour. And we've been getting some insights from Patrick Maitland himself, publisher of the Agriculturalist, and Dr. Karen Dunkley, who has a busy day, starting out very early and will be ending perhaps sometime tomorrow morning. She's the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council representative for the Northeast USA. And I think you are about to tell us, to go on to telling us about the minister. Is it
the reception?
The reception. That's where you were when we took the break.
Right. So a few people wanted to have a sort of
one-on-one
private time with him, one-on-one with him, and so we're gonna have that reception in his honor as well. It's been sponsored by the Beverly Home Care, their Broad Village, and a host of other organizations. But I must also say that this team, what we have planned here, we really get some good support from the Simpsons restaurant, for example.
Well, this is why I was before you cut your initial listing of sponsors. I was going on to say, by all means, sponsorship is important, and so
yes,
we don't have a problem with you calling the names of all the individuals, institutions, organizations that are associated with this venture.
All right, sir. So, over the years in planning events, especially to accommodate Jamaican from abroad, from Jamaica, the leaders, I find it so easy to get sponsorship. People are so giving, caring, want to be a part of it. I'll give you an example. So the Golden Trails restaurant, when I reach out to this young lady that operates it, she said, yeah, I want to do all the food. All the food.
Just like that.
Just like that. I have about 5 other restaurants that I was trying to get a little pan of this from. And she said, no, I'll do everything because I want to make my statement and I want to give back to Jamaica. Right? So, it's and Chef Simpson too from the Simpsons restaurant. This is a Jamaican celebrated chef, very successful guy. And he just opened his own restaurant and he said, listen, breakfast for the minister, that's on us. And he's accommodating 40 people for the breakfast meeting. Beverly Home Care is another dynamic Jamaican that runs a health care facility. It's like a nursing agency. She no question asked. JamaicaFood.com, Freckles Drink, Firebun. It's like everybody wants to do something. And I'm really happy and proud to be a Jamaican to see how much people want to support, whatever venture you're doing. Most of the time, not all the time. And also, I must step up the team. I have a little small dynamic team here, headed by Karen Dunkley. These guys they make my job easy. I can tell you, Dervan, when you're having anything planned, and if you need some people that make your work easy, you need to call on them, right? So we're talking about people like the gentleman from Jampo, Shane Angus, right? He's a Jampo rep. This guy's working off his head, not saying anything else, right? Neil Curtis from Farm of Jamaica, Dominic Christopher from the abroad village. He's also very supportive. Tashana Brown, Tashini Williams, I hope I get her name right. She's handling most of my PR and media. Andre Jones will be the photographer. George Spence, one of them, and Michael Watkins. He handles some of our logistics and media arrangement as well. And not to forget the support I'm getting from the Consul General herself, Miss Alcian Wilson, along with the CRO, the new CRO there. That's Christopher Benjamin. So the support is good. I must admit that. And the sponsorship and everybody so far, we're really excited and we're looking forward to a very, successful tour with Minister Colonel Charles Jr.
Yes. And please, thank you very much, Patrick Maitland. Dr. Dunkley, give us an idea of how you are mobilizing support for this latest initiative, and how members of the diaspora, not least of all the Northeast USA area of the diaspora, how they can connect, how they can follow, and otherwise inform themselves before, during, and after.
Excellent point to punctuate. Thank you again, Dervan, for having us. We have mobilized by targeted outreach, agriculture. First of all, we know that these issues are germane, meaning that so many Jamaicans, I can't tell you, when you look at my inbox, Dervan, especially when we had that incident recently with the sale of the land for Bernard Lodge, how many emails we receive about import bills every time there's a report, every time we hear stories from small farmers or there's a flood, people really writing to express their thoughts and ideas. They're not just criticizing and complaining, which is important. Critical feedback is key, so we move forward. But they're also saying, here's what we would want to see. So they're coming with a solutions-based approach. So we have mobilized through targeted outreach. We've connected with our civic and community leaders. We have also now started, which is why we're here, to ensure that every Jamaican, and this is the thing with diaspora simply means if you live outside of Jamaica. So the town hall is not for any elite persons or an elite group. Any Jamaican, if you have an interest in any aspect of agricultural development in Jamaica, a nation that can feed itself is a nation that will liberate itself. We saw what happened when food supply chains were disrupted and continue to be disrupted during COVID-19, but especially with the situation in the Ukraine, which is called the breadbasket of the world. And so one of the ideas that we want to communicate here is that if you have any interest at all, please come out to the town hall. If you have an idea, there's an opportunity to have a conversation about marketing, trading Jamaican produce. If you want to open greenhouses, so we're mobilized through our faith-based community. For example, the New Testament Temple Church will also be there with Reverend Pierce because they are really big on environment and agriculture in Jamaica. Email us. We must RSVP for this event, Ambassador Malcolm. This is not an event that we can just walk in. We understand that we're an informal community. However, because number one, space is limited, but also because we have to have a list. Thanks again. Patrick mentioned C.G. Wilson and the CRO, which the Community Relations Officer, Christopher Benjamin. So we don't just use abbreviations and people don't know what we mean by CRO. It's being held at the Consulate General of Jamaica, New York, located at 767 3rd Avenue, New York 10017. But please email us to RSVP at NEDiaspora @gmail.com. That email comes directly to me and members of the Jamaica Diaspora Northeast think tank. So Shawnee Brown also is here, and the email is on the flyer. So if you visit our Facebook page at Jamaica Diaspora Northeast USA, and there are so many diaspora Facebook pages. So the name of ours is JANED, JANED. You can find the flyer also on my public page, Dr. Karen Dunkley, Northeast Rep. And you can RSVP, you need to. So we're mobilized through our community, civic leaders, through individual and targeted outreach, through our media hosts such as yours, Ambassador Malcolm, through our email listserv, through our faith-based community, and then through communities that are uniquely interested and energized around agricultural development issues, such as Farm Up Jamaica with my good friend now, Neil Curtis. And I must big up John Hines, who is taking a bus, Ambassador Malcolm. John Hines has a bus of 15 people coming down from the Bronx and Mount Vernon, from Let's Talk Radio. So that's the level of commitment that we have around this engagement. But let me say one last thing. In this role, we as a think tank, as the Diaspora Northeast Rep, we have, wherever we can, we strive to ensure that the Jamaican people can again communicate directly with our leaders, with those who are responsible for policy action and policy implementation. And so this movement, this diaspora movement, is not about titles, it's not about class. What it is about is if you love Jamaica and the brilliance sits with you of how we move Jamaica forward, then this is a town hall that you must attend. Dervan, you know I'm an academic, but let me tell you, I can have all the books and studies in the world. If I cannot feed myself, if my mother don't grow a chicken and grow a pig, when I go to Jamaica, Dervan, and I'm down there, Mommy said, Karen, you know, we have to wake up 5 o'clock because I'm going to need you to clean out the pig pen this morning. When I'm in Jamaica, Ambassador Malcolm and I go up to country, I have to get up and put on my galoshes, they call them, and clean out. And I'm the right word because
water
the
boot.
agricultural school.
Water boot.
Yes, my water boot. Yeah, they tell me, yeah, when I say clean chicken, there's a term they use, and my water boot, the chicken, because the chickens peck you. And, you know, and I have to follow them, and you have to wake up when you're farming. It's an early morning business before the sun comes down.
Yes.
So that's how I've learned to fall back in love with the earth, and we have to really fall back in love with agriculture at all different levels, from small farming to global farming to production to preservation. So come out Friday, November 11th, 6 p.m., Consulate General of Jamaica, New York, RSVP, nediaspora@gmail.com.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dunkley. And just, well, we see Elaine Bryan, Dr. Elaine Bryan saying congratulations, Dr. Karen Dunkley and team. And also, before you go, Patrick Maitland, is there a next level approach? In other words, after all this excitement and interest, how do we ensure that it doesn't just die a natural death as opposed to spawn something that is great?
You know, that's a great point. And in discussion with the minister, he assured me that we're going to have a continuous dialogue, and he will be putting us to the different people in Jamaica that are responsible to make sure that, because the issue is, you know, so somebody want to invest in Jamaica, where do they go to? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Oh, I heard that. Somebody want to invest in Jamaican agriculture, where do they go to? We're going to make sure that all these information are available. And the Jumper office is going to be wrapping up or step up its visibility, right? Because many times we just don't know where to go, you know, but it will not be a one-day wonder, right? Plus, I also will be doing some other initiatives through the agriculturalist newspaper in collaboration with these government-related.
Very
so
good.
it will not be a Monday wonder.
Encouraging news. We could go on, but we have to leave it here. We're over time. Thank you both very much, Dr. Dunkley. Always a pleasure. Thank you, Patrick Maitland. Well done.
Thank you, Ambassador Malcolm. And big up will be all roads lead to Garfield, New Jersey for Dr. Dixon's event. Jaja, thank you.
Every time. We're out. Thank you very much to Silly Spinnock and before her, Chandel Forbes for doing technical and production duties behind the scenes. Thanks to our guests and importantly to you, our faithful listeners at home and abroad, for making it the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online. All things being well, the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online returns next Saturday. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm wishing everybody a safe and peaceful weekend.
Power 106 FM just presented the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
9:02 on Power 106.
If the music is great, you must be listening to Power 106.
Give me a beat!